What happened to Jax? Is he all right?
One too many drinks by the look of it.
Disregarding the lump of flesh on the table?
I will once everyone's here. But we are missing Janet.
Did she reply to your messages?
No. I'm getting worried.
Has anyone seen Janet recently?
See, I saw her in the backyard earlier.
Q? Why didn't you say anything when we spoke with you before?
I'm sorry, senor. I didn't think it was important.
Did you see where she was headed?
See, Miss Janet went into the jungle for a walk.
And she didn't come back?
I don't know.
All right. Everyone, I'd like for all of you to stay in this room for the time. I'll explain everything afterward.
Of course, Ruben. If we must...
We'll stay here, dear.
Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Carla, could you come with me to search for...
Of course.
Sam, please keep an eye on everyone until we come back.
You can count on me.
Thank you. Carla, let's... Janet, I hope nothing bad happened to her.
Don't worry, Ruben. Janet's fine. She's out there somewhere.
I hope you're right, Carla. If something's happened to her...
Then we shouldn't stand around here for too long.
Janet! Are you here?
Janet! Can you hear us?
Damn it. She's not here. We need to keep looking.
She might have gone into the abandoned house.
Let's split up. I'll check the house here.
All right, let's do this. Why would someone do this? Could Janet be in there? I can't take it off. I need I can't take it. Maybe there are wire cutters. I need to finish carving it out.
I couldn't find Janet. Did you?
No. Someone jammed the door handle with a
And in danger. We need to get there right now.
I'm working on it.
Janet!
Carla? Ruben?
Carla, we need to cut Janet loose.
Leave it to me. I need to paint the house.
I'm so happy you're okay. I was worried sick.
I don't know.
Maybe you can take us through it step by step. Why did you go into the jungle by yourself?
I came here not long after I caught Ruben rummaging through my room. I just couldn't bear being shut up in... While I was out here, someone snuck up behind me, and next thing I know, I wake up.
You probably need to be examined. You might have a concussion. I'll text Catherine and tell her to be ready.
Before we go back, Janet, mind if I ask you a few more questions?
Of course.
Any idea why someone would do this to you?
I really have no clue.
Maybe something happened during the day?
Well, I ran into Margot and gave her a piece of my mind for sleeping with Jax.
Did you start a fight with her?
I expected one to break out, but it didn't really escalate any...
The most important thing is that you're... I've contacted Catherine, so let's head back to the mansion and get you...
Okay.
Catherine, could you start examining Janet?
I'm on it.
Mind explaining what exactly happened out there?
We found Janet tied up in the lighthouse. Someone attacked her.
Monsieur! Oh my!
No need to worry. Janet's gonna be fine after a good night's rest.
Thank you. Janet's attacker is probably the same person who stole all the files on Project G. The one who murdered Freddy and Portia. Whoever it is, they're still here among us. We gathered all of you here to get to the bottom of this once and for all. No one will leave this place until the culprit is identified.
Damn straight. Now why don't we get started?
Right. As you all know, I've been looking into all the incidents and murders that took. From the clues I've gathered, I believe I'm very close to uncovering the culprit's identity. I'm certain that once I've gone through all the evidence one more time.
Let's begin with Lucas's death then.
Sure. At first, we thought Lucas slipped and fell by accident, but that wasn't the case. From the state of his body, it seemed that he had been in a fight before he died.
If I remember correctly, we found out his knuckles were freshly bruised.
That's right. We also noticed Lucas. By that point, I was already suspecting Freddy was involved somehow. I found one of Freddy's pins by the pool. Besides, but there was no real proof, since the pool patio's security footage of the incident.
Except that in one of the remaining frames, I noticed Lucas was talking to someone. So I questioned Mrs. Bird about it afterward. She was the first to find the body after all.
Could you tell everyone what you talked about?
Mrs. Bird told me she escorted Freddy to his room.
Yes,
And then I went to finish tidying the Starship suite.
Thanks to the Admiral's chat with Mrs. B, Freddy claimed he saw Q fighting with Lucas by the pool. So, we checked the greenhouse security footage during Q was there. He couldn't have done it.
That's the moment we realized Freddy was lying through his teeth.
We went to confront Freddy in his room, but instead, we found his notebook, which confirmed our suspicions.
That's when we all split up into teams and went to search for Freddy.
We found him, lying dead at the bottom of the well in the abandoned. But his death was no accident.
Dear, how can you be certain it was?
The well's lid was barred by a steel pipe. Someone wanted to make sure Freddy couldn't get out in case he survived the fall. There's also another very important piece of... I believe Freddy was being blackmailed and...
And what did they use to blackmail Freddy with?
The camera footage of Lucas's death, which we thought had been deleted. In the heat of the fight, Freddy accidentally pushed Lucas. Lucas tripped and fell backward, hitting his head on the corner of the pool. I believe the culprit used this footage to their advantage by transferring it onto a USB key before they probably approached Freddy after that. I think they blackmailed Freddy using the footage, making him their puppet.
It's an interesting theory, Ms. Page. But where's the proof? Where's the USB key?
Carla gave it to me before. I can confirm the USB key is real.
Fine, but the USB key with the security footage didn't appear out of thin air.
In Jax's suite. I know that doesn't look good for Jax, but
On what basis?
the USB key was lying on the floor, partially hidden. But I don't believe the culprit would be careless enough to lose.
It does sound suspicious, I'll give you that. All right, so if Freddy was being manipulated, what exactly did he have to do for the culprit?
I'm sure that Freddy was made to scout out the lighthouse. I found a torn map showing the way to the lighthouse in his room.
He tried to get rid of the map?
He ripped it up and tried to burn it. Thankfully, he didn't. In any case, when I found the map, I decided to investigate the lighthouse myself. That's where I found the military-grade binoculars.
And you're sure Freddy was in the lighthouse because?
By the binoculars, there was also an empty bottle of Freddy's favorite wine. I'm sure he spent the night there. Most likely, he was involved in some of the other incidents as well.
One thing's still not clear to me. If Freddy was being manipulated by the culprit,
I believe Freddy found leverage against his blackmailer. And I think that ties directly in with your poisoning, Ruben.
Miss Page, why don't you explain how you reached this conclusion?
Of course. After Ruben collapsed during our first dinner together, Dr. Cat ran tests on Ruben that revealed a poison. At the time, we thought he'd been poisoned by the food or wine. But we ran further tests with Dr. Cat and found no traces of poison in them.
We hit a wall back then, without any further leads to investigate.
until I had a delayed allergic reaction on my hand.
Which, after analysis, led us to the conclusion that the poison got into your system through your skin.
And how does this relate to Freddy's murder?
It's part of this ring I found on Freddy that makes me the same ring that was used to poison you.
A poison ring? Seems like something straight out of my books.
No fiction here. Just we found out about the ring thanks to another USB key the culprit left behind in Port.
It just looks like an ordinary ring to me.
This button here opens the compartment where the poison was stored.
Can I have a look at it?
Of course. I believe Freddy got his hands on part of the ring and used it as leverage against our culprit, which, in the end, cost Freddy his life.
You said Freddy had a part of it, but what you showed us was a full ring. Was it not?
The other part, the sapphire, I found mixed in with a tablecloth in the dryer. I believe the murderer lost the sapphire while poisoning Ruben, and it went through the washing machine with the tablecloth. This led me to believe Ruben was poisoned during dinner.
Isn't it possible Ruben was poisoned earlier?
Unlikely. Some of the poison compounds we identified.
I had contact with everyone in the room during the dinner. Anyone could have sprayed it on me.
Doesn't that leave the possibility that Freddy could have plotted to poison Ruben?
First of all, Freddy's dead. Even if he did do it, too many things don't add up. The security footage kept on the USB key. And I'm sure someone would have noticed Freddy wearing such a flashy ring during dinner.
So, your conclusion is that Freddy couldn't have poisoned Ruben?
That's right. All of the heinous acts from that point on were carried out by the person who killed Freddy. Their main objective from the start was to get information on Project Genetica. That's probably why the poison Ruben was sprayed with was he was kept alive in case the culprit couldn't find any information on the project.
Yet Portia was the one who ended up paying the ultimate.
Portia's death was a consequence of the culprit trying to get their hands on Genetica. I believe Portia caught the culprit off guard. Wow! From the evidence I found,
What are you doing here? You!
I believe that after shooting Portia, the culprit ran away. While investigating the crime scene, that's when I decided to check Lucas's gun. With the number of bullets missing from it was the same number Portia was shot with.
Does that mean the Admiral is the murderer?
Calm down. I didn't kill anyone. Someone stole it from my room, and after committing the crime, put it back in there to frame me.
He couldn't have done it. The Admiral and Q were in the backyard around the time Portia was murdered.
See, the Admiral was with me.
What about Janet? She was in the room with Portia's body when Ruben found them.
Janet does have a motive. She was being blackmailed by Portia to stay away from Ruben.
Oh my God. I'd never kill her. What's wrong with you?
Carla, it doesn't add up. Janet would have had to put the gun back in the Admiral's suite before coming back into the room. Why would she do that?
You might be right, but there's also the culprit's black trench coat, the coat's fabric matched the torn piece I found after the Admiral was attacked.
Are you saying it's Janet's?
It didn't fit her, but I'm sure it was planted there to try and throw me off the trail. Either way, before making any further assumptions, we discovered that the culprit is part of a secretive, very powerful group of people.
Never heard of them.
Consider yourself lucky. Some of the stories I've heard still send shivers down my spine.
I believe most of the stories about the Overseers have a kernel of truth to them. From the information I gathered about them, their long history is full of instances where they abuse their power from the shadows to influence governments.
Sounds a bit far-fetched. You really want us to believe this group still exists? And
I encountered them in my younger days. I saw firsthand what they are capable of. Make no mistake, one of them is in this room.
Oh my.
how do you even know the culprit is one of these so-called overseers?
While investigating the trail left by the culprit, this emblem is heavily associated with the group. I believe their ultimate goal is to steal the formula for the Genetica serum and exploit it for personal gain and power.
Carla, even if all this is true, it doesn't tell us who the culprit is.
Which is why, before I start pointing fingers, there are some other facts I should mention. The culprit had the technology to hack into Ruben's internal systems. We're talking about infiltrating his. Only someone with a lot of resources would have access to such technology.
Carla, now all our cards are on the table.
I think I can narrow down the list of suspects to.
Go on, then.
First of all, it couldn't be Ruben. There's just no motive for him to do any of this. We can cross Q off too, as he couldn't have poisoned Ruben during the dinner. He also, Q and the Admiral were together when Portia was killed. Neither of them could have murdered her. Dr. Cat can be taken off the list too, even if her motives for taking the data on Jeannie are questionable. Poisoning Ruben would have been a waste of her time, as she had to do the most looking after him, leaving little time to search the mansion for any information on the project. Janet did have a motive to kill Portia, and we did find her at the murder scene. But there's no way she could have tied herself up in the lighthouse. And Jax is not exactly in a state to be able to pull off any heists either. All this leaves only two people who could it's Margot or Mrs. Bird.
Excuse me? It's obviously the cleaning lady, Chérie.
I'm innocent. I could never hurt Ruben.
Enough! Miss Page, get to the point. Who is the culprit?
I have no doubt it's Margot.
Chérie, don't make yourself look bad.
Let me go over the facts, and everyone else can be the judge of that. Margot, you're linked to Freddy's murder. I found your lighter on his body.
The last time I checked, it wasn't illegal to lend someone a lighter.
Did you give him the lighter to burn the map that led him to the lighthouse?
How should I know? I didn't bother asking what he wanted to do with it.
You also had the opportunity to kill Portia. I saw you on the cameras walking onto the pool patio around the time Portia died.
Because I spilled wine on my shirt and went to change. You confirmed it yourself.
Yeah, and that was the perfect excuse to sneak into the Admiral's suite and grab. You also didn't hear any shots, despite being close to the murder scene.
Nothing you're saying proves that I'm the one behind all this.
I'm not finished yet. You were the first to notice that the boat was on fire. Yet,
As I said before, I saw the fire explode into the sky, and I ran back in to tell everyone.
so, the culprit was back on the beach?
I guess so.
But Jax was on the beach at the time, and he didn't see anyone as he ran over to the fire.
Then why don't you question him? Maybe he did it.
Right. What about today then? What were you doing in the afternoon?
I was in my room most of the time. I barely left it.
So you haven't been in the security room?
No. Why would I go there to begin with?
Hang on a sec. But I'm certain what Margot just said.
Mind elaborating, Jack?
This afternoon, I saw Margot leaving the security office.
Care to explain yourself?
Please, chérie. You must have drank too much and dreamt it up.
Margot, when I spoke with you today,
So what? That doesn't mean I was in the security office.
Well, if I were in the culprit's shoes and I'd probably assault them and tie them up too.
Are you insane? How did you jump to that conclusion from me?
You're obviously hiding something.
Oh, chérie. I believe you're better at keeping secrets. Why hide the fact that Ruben's your father?
Carla is Ruben's daughter. I can't say I'm not surprised.
I run a media empire, Sam. It's my job to know.
is Carla really your daughter, Ruben?
It's true. She is. It's a long story.
I strongly disagree. If you've been hiding something as important as this, maybe you and your little daughter are the true culprits, scheming behind everyone's backs.
You must be joking. Do you seriously think anyone's going to believe you?
Right back at you, Chérie. You have no proof I'm the culprit.
That's where you're wrong. During my first few days here, when Mrs. B started helping me, that was the culprit's biggest mistake. If I compare the handwriting on it with yours,
Sure. Give me a piece of paper and a pen. I'll prove it.
no need. I actually already have a handwritten note from
Is stealing another skill of yours?
if it helps the investigation.
Carla, why don't you use the table to compare notes?
Works for me. It's the same handwriting, Margot.
Are you people going to take her at her word? She's not an expert. How can she tell?
If you're not the culprit, then there's nothing to worry about. We'll sort this out.
No one likes a hero, son.
Samuel!
Ruben. Take another step, and you're dead.
Marco! How could you? Where did you get this gun from?
Ruben, you should really learn how to hide things better. You should give me more credit.
Margot, you'll pay for this.
Keep it down, Sam. It's not good for your health to get so worked up.
He needs treatment or he'll bleed to death.
Don't try anything stupid. As long as everyone behaves, no one else will get hurt. But kudos to you, Carla. I thought I'd get away scot-free. Not that it matters much. The only thing you've accomplished, really, is spelling out your own demise. Now, Someone pick him up and let's all go for a little walk to the wine cellar. All of you, get inside the elevator. Well, this was a lovely getaway, Ruben. We should do this more often. Let's see how long you'll be able to survive down there. Farewell.
It was Margot all along.
She's a witch and a goddamn psychopath.
I can't believe it. What on earth just happened? Oh, God. And Sam. I think I'm going to faint.
Everyone, I know it's a lot to take in, but please try to remain calm. Catherine, what's Sam's condition?
I'll be fine. It's not the first time I've been shot in the line of duty.
Sam, it's not up to you to decide if you're fine. Your wound is no joke. Just be thankful the bullet hit your shoulder and missed any vital areas.
Are you planning on removing the bullet?
No, it would be more dangerous to try and get it out than leave it in for now. With the current equipment in the first aid kit, I should at least be able to stop the bleeding. But I won't have enough bandages to cover the wound once the bleeding stops.
There might be a bandage back in the laboratory.
I can go grab it.
I'll come with you. I need to check Haven's systems in the control. I doubt Margot would simply leave us down here. Everyone else, please stay here and provide. You go ahead. It'll take a few minutes to check the systems.
Okay, I'll be back shortly. I need all the pieces first. I need all the pieces first. I've got the bandages, and
It's not looking good. It's better if we head back to the others. I'll address the situation there.
are you telling me we're in danger?
I won't lie to you. At the current rate, the air will run out in Haven soon. So let's not waste another second and head back.
Okay, I trust you.
Everyone, I'm sorry to say, but we have another emergency on our... My worries came true. Margot sabotaged the ventilation system. If we don't act now, We won't get a chance to see daylight again.
No, 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 no! Are we all... That crazy woman needs to be stopped.
Could you please stop shouting? I don't need a headache, too.
The situation is indeed dire, but not hopeless. Margot removed my admin rights from the system, but I still have another trick up my sleeve. We can reset the ventilation system with the emergency manual override. However, we'll need a few people to operate it.
You don't need to ask. I'll be your savior.
Jax, it's fine. I'd prefer you stay put and recover your strength.
Sheesh. Whatever.
What a joke. At the moment, I'm as useless as that drunk over there.
Ruben, you know you can count me in.
We still need another person.
What about Q?
Sorry, but I'll need help from Q to lift Sam up to treat his wound.
Ruben, if you think I can be of any assistance, I'll...
Yes, of course you can. There are 3 air control panels in Haven that we need to override at the same time. Georgiana, your panel is in Genetica Keep's office area.
How will I know which panel I need?
The panel has a ventilation sign in front of it. Carla, your panel is in the creative hub, and I'll go to the 3rd one in the control. Each panel requires a key to unlock it. Georgiana, I've grabbed yours from the control room. But Carla, the key to your panel is probably somewhere in the creative hub. It should have a blue tag on the keychain.
No worries, I'll find it.
Almost. Once you open the panel, you'll need to...
What's the signal?
When the main bulb turns from red to green on the panel, flip the main switch inside.
I think we got it, dear. Shall we head out?
Just give me 1 second. Dr. Cat, before I leave,
Oh, thank goodness. This will... Thanks. You better get going now, or it won't matter much if I patch Sam up or not.
You can leave it to us. We'll get it done.
I'm certain you will.
Georgiana, Carla, let's go.
I should focus on my part in the creative hub. I should focus on... First things first, I need to find the panel... I think I've got the right key. Now I need... I'm getting lightheaded. I should... The panel should be here. The biggest DNA strand I've seen. The panel should be here, not in the living. It's locked. I need to use the. Come on then. Where's the signal? I really hope that worked.
Everyone, the mission was successful. We managed to override the ventilation system. We are no longer in immediate danger.
I never doubted you, senor.
Oh, thank God. At least one thing went right.
I knew you'd all get it done.
I'm just glad I could help.
Y'all did well, but what took you so long?
Jax, you better keep your mouth shut until you sober up.
Why don't we all just take a breather for a moment?
I agree. A lot happened rather quickly. We need some time to digest it.
Good. I'm glad you agree.
Can we just please talk about something that doesn't involve, like, Ruben? Why didn't you tell anyone about Carla?
Actually, he told me.
What? Why did you tell him and not me?
Look, at the time, Carla accused Jax of having Lucas's murder security footage in his room. He was furious about being blamed and could not understand why I was on her side. I had no options but to tell him the truth to avoid any further conflict between them.
Who else knew?
I told Portia a few months ago. I guess she started looking into you afterward.
All the info about me she stored on her laptop was creepy, to say the least.
Right. Well, people can be overprotective sometimes. The point is that I wanted to tell everyone when the time was right. But under these circumstances, it wasn't something I could even consider.
To be fair, I found out only today.
I don't even know what to say. I can only imagine what a surprise it must have been for you. How are you feeling knowing Ruben's your father?
It's understandable. It will take some time, but I hope we'll be able to build a relationship.
Sorry to burst your lovely future family bubble, but
We get out of Haven and apprehend Margot.
Right. Let's assume we managed to capture her. We still have the overseers to deal with. They won't let us simply walk away from all this.
Ruben, maybe you should take over this one.
Of course. I encountered this group when I was younger. They caused a great deal of pain for me back then. So I've been gathering information on them for a long time and I also have evidence gathered about bigger incidents that they were directly involved in. But I don't know the names of the top members in their group.
I have more questions about all of this, but it can wait. Even with all this information, without identifying the heads of the group, we won't be able to stop them.
Well, if we somehow capture Margot, and wouldn't we have a chance of taking down the overseers for good?
It's a possibility, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we need to find a way out of Haven.
Saying that, could we override other parts of Haven manually to get out of here?
No, it's impossible to do it from the inside.
What about the vents?
That might actually work, but the ventilation system will be complex to navigate through. We'll also need the ventilation blueprints to find a possible route to the surface.
Okay, it's a start. Do you have the blueprints for the vents?
Yes, they should be stored somewhere in the vault.
Great, I'll go and find them.
All right, please do. In the meantime, I'll determine the best point of entry into the vents.
The other part is missing. Sweet. I think that's... I got the blueprints.
Good. We should be able to enter the vents from Genetica Keep. But they're quite narrow. Most of us won't be able to squeeze through.
What are you proposing?
The best plan is to send one person in and have, but the only ones who can probably move in the vents are Janet, Carla, or Catherine.
Apologies, Ruben. I don't handle small spaces well. I wouldn't reach the surface.
It's okay. I can do it.
Are you sure, Carla? It's going to be dangerous.
Don't worry. I can take care of myself.
I wish we didn't need to do this at all, but there aren't any other options. Let's just go to the creative hub. We can spread out the blueprints there and... place the blueprints on the table.
See the sunshine, it's getting to my head. One look in the mirror, don't like what I find. I know that somewhere in there there's a good guy. He runs away at midnight. I'm sorry that I stole your car. Ain't got those tattoos on my arms that don't mean shit to me. Maybe you should pull the alarm, so I don't take it way too far. Die before I'm 23. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Mom. My siblings are perfect and I wish I were the same. Making bad decisions, it should be my middle name. I love playing with fire, it's my favorite guy. Watch me burn my whole house down, not feel a thing. One look in the mirror, don't like what I find. I know that somewhere in there there's a good guy, but he runs away at midnight.
Great! All that's left is to mark the entrance and the exit.
I'd better grab a photo of the map. It'll probably come in handy. Okay, I think I'll know how to navigate my way out.
This exit should lead you out somewhere by the beach. But if you get lost in the vents, just come back, okay?
I'm not planning on taking any risks. If I get lost, I'll come back.
That's what I wanted to hear. But promise me, once you're outside, you'll avoid Margot at all costs.
As far as I know, I don't have an appointment with her.
Cracking jokes, even now. I guess you'll be fine.
So once I'm out, what comes next?
You'll need to unlock the elevator and send it down here for the rest of us.
Sure. And how am I supposed to do that?
By using the panel in the wine cellar, you should be able to access it.
Okay. But if this plan won't work, do we have...
No, we'll have to make it work. One more thing. Here's the code you'll need to input into the panel.
That's everything, right?
I believe so. I guess it's time for you to go. Here's the widest entrance point into the vents, right above me.
Seems a bit high up. How will I reach it?
It's not a problem. I'll lift you up.
Sounds good. Let's do this.
I'll lift you up.
The lid is screwed shut. The lid is... It's a no-go at the moment. I'll need something to unscrew the lid first.
There might be a screwdriver back in the laboratory.
All right. I'll look around here.
I need to find all the missing pieces.
Not my preferred choice, but I should be able to
Bad luck. I haven't found it.
No worries. I think I got it. I'll use a coin.
Good thinking. Let's get you.
Here goes nothing.
How is it? Are you?
It's cramped, but not as bad as I thought. I should.
Stay safe.
I probably shouldn't touch this. I probably shouldn't touch this. The gate's closed. Maybe those cables have something to do with it. I need to open it somehow. I need to find another path. I need to open it somehow.
This should lead to the exit. All I need is to. I hope. Time to get to work. I should be extra careful. Margot. Marco cut the cables. No. Electrical cables. All right. These look similar to the cables from the panel. Who is Margot speaking to? And
I already told you. I have the serum formula. Now get me out of here. As I already said, I've got this under control. What do you mean it will take some time to get me off the island? I don't care about the storm. Just do your goddamn... Seriously, how long will they take?
we still have time to turn the tables. Let's hope this works.
She burns the bridges in my head by lighting up a fire. Bury my old thoughts instead so you could feel the same.
There we go. Now